In 2023, Brian O came up with a live call system to set over 100 appointments every single month for a company that helps teachers set up an online tutoring business for a ticket price of $7,800. And the best part is, Brian gets 3% of that $7,800 every time one of his appointments buys the product. Do you have a rough idea of the number of sets that you got each month?
June, which was my first month, I had 136 sets. July, I had 100. August, I had 91.
$7,800. You get 3% of that if it's closed. Do you have an idea of what percent of appointments that you're setting close out at?
Yeah, it's sitting around like 15, 20%-ish.
And then just like a high level overview of what your offer actually is for someone who's just like not in the industry at all.
So we help teachers start an online tutoring business. So it's a biz up offer for teachers to basically get out of the classroom and tutor online and make money online with their teaching skills. So monetize their teaching ability.
So cool, dude.
Yeah, it's a good offer. It's a great offer, man. Yeah, it's very wholesome.
So the beginning of this video is going to cover how Brian actually got the appointment. The middle section of the video is the entire live call from start to finish. And if you wait till the end of the video, I do a special one-on-one with Brian, just asking him some questions about how he's able to consistently set over 100 appointments a month. And he just gives some pointers to beginners. So without further ado, let's get started.
Basically, I have a sequence that I put all my leads through. So, hey, Deidre, this is Brian from the Teacher Project. We saw you were interested in starting an online tutoring business. Is that something you're looking into? She replies, yes, exclamation point. So then I call her twice, double dial. That's what you always do as a setter, by the way. Didn't pick up. Sorry, I'm just at an event right now for the Truth and Reconciliation holiday. So I was like, okay. She said, can we schedule for another time? Sure, no problem. And then I throw her my calendar link, and then she books on my calendar.
So do you have them like confirm, do you want to book on my calendar and then wait for them to say yes, and then you send them over a link usually?
I mean, kind of right here, she said, can we schedule a call for another time?
Right.
I was like, yeah, sure. Okay. So then I figured that was like the green light that she is open to talk. So I was like, okay, let me send her my link. Send her the link.
I always had like my setters on my agency, like they would call up, they would like only schedule in a lead if they're on the phone with them, and if they're on the phone, they're like, what time works? Okay, like Tuesday, 3 p.m. And then they would actually book them in the calendar on the phone. So how often are you doing that versus just like sending them over a Calendly link or something?
So since I didn't get her on the phone, like since she didn't pick up at this time, and it seems like she was already busy, right? So I'm not gonna call her again while she's at this event, you know? So instead of just calling her again, I figured here, okay, let me just shoot her the link so she can just take her time and just book a time. That way she doesn't have to like be on the phone. I feel like if I called her right here, it probably could have burned this lead, because she'd probably be like, why the hell is this guy calling me, again? So I figured this was a good move, just to send her my link, and then she booked, and then Awesome Talk Wednesday, and then came time for the call, and then just gave her a call, and she picked up.
Hey, is this Deidre?
It is.
Hey, Deidre, this is Brian from. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, we had a time scheduled to speak right now. Is now still a good time?
Yep. I just put the meeting ID into my Zoom, so.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we could just do it over the phone if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's fine for sure, 100%. I'm not looking so fresh right now because I've been doing schoolwork all day. So.
No worries. All good. We'll just we'll stand behind the phone. All good. But yeah, Deidre, this call is just for me to get a better idea of your teaching background, and then I can kind of go more into what we do, and then see if it lines up with what you're looking for. Does that sound good?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. So yeah, can you just start off by telling me just a bit about your background?
So
Yep.
I got my BED in 2012.
Okay, cool. And just for me to get some context, so right now, are you teaching in the classroom, or are you just doing this private tutoring service?
I'm just doing private tutoring right now.
Got it. And how many students do you have working with, or how many clients?
Right now I have a couple that like they aren't real. I don't really want to like discount them, but I do have a couple that like aren't completely committed to it, so like they drop in every couple weeks. So like if you include them, I have I think 8 or 9.
So about eight to nine students, and then got it. Okay. And in terms of doing something like this, like starting your own tutoring business, but taking it online, like how long have you been looking into taking your service online for?
I have been thinking about it for a while. I just didn't really know how to set it up in terms of like reaching out past outside of PEI. And like
Okay.
what methods I would use to like contact and like, or like someone who like, how am I supposed to get recognized as someone who's reputable comparatively to other people?
Yeah, that
That
just
kind of
comes down to like the marketing and branding, which we help out
Yeah,
with.
exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like your service right now, so this is your main source of income, right? This tutoring business.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. How are things going overall? Like, are you making like a decent amount of income to help cover the bills and everything?
I'm making ends meet, but the reason why I reached out to you is because
Yeah.
I would like to do a little bit more than just make ends meet.
Mhm.
I am paying to put myself through school as well at the
Okay.
time, like currently. So,
Sure.
any extra income definitely helps.
Yeah, totally. And I guess for you with your business right now, like what do you feel like you need the most help with?
Probably just like outreach.
Outreach?
Yeah.
So marketing?
So like yeah, marketing, like
Okay.
connection to new clients, and like affirmation to these clients that like I am someone who can be relied upon, kind of thing. That I'm not just like
Yeah.
some faceless, nameless person who will pay them lip service and not actually help them.
Yeah. How are you marketing at the moment? Like, what are your marketing channels looking like?
I have like Kijiji, Facebook.
Marketing could definitely be dialed in a little bit more. Are you running ads on Facebook at all?
No, I'm just doing like
Just
like
organic?
on yeah, pretty much.
I see.
I guess
Got
that's
it.
what you
Got
would
it.
call
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Have you considered like testing out Facebook ads at all? Have you ever explored that?
I haven't, no, because I'm not like, honestly, I'm not really familiar with, that's not something I'm
Yeah.
familiar with whatsoever.
Sure. Yep. Got it. Okay. And okay, so you're working with about 8 students right now. Like, how are you charging your students? What price point do you have them at?
It honestly, and this is another thing I could probably use help with, because I think I have too much like subjectiveness going in it.
Okay.
Because if I see that it's like an immigrant family, I'm apt to charge them less than I probably should, just because I know that it's probably a burden on them. So a couple of my students I'm charging $17 an hour, and that I'm up to 25.
Up to 25. Got it. Okay. And you just do per hour?
Yeah.
That's your normal rate. Okay. And is this all one-on-one?
Yep.
And I guess for you with this business, Deja, like what are like taking it online, like ultimately for you, like what's the goal for you? Like what do you want to achieve with growing this business?
I would like it to be like consistent is one of my big things. Consistency for sure. Like having a client base that is going to, whether it be like once a week or twice a week, like I know that they're going to call me, or like that they're going to show up for their appointments, because right now it's kind of like they call me and they might come twice this week and then I won't see them for 2 weeks. And not that I don't want to help them in that way, but you have to look at it from the other side too. Like I need a consistent income.
Yep.
And not having like a business model, I guess, or whatever you would call it. I feel like I'm kind of getting taken advantage of a little bit in terms of my flexibility.
I'm just stepping in here for just a little commentary, because this was key for an appointment setter who's listening to this conversation. What she just said is absolutely crucial, because she just said 2 main problems. She said The main problem is that I'm lacking consistency with the amount of appointments that are showing up and how that's making her feel, which is she feels like she's being taken advantage of. A lot of people buy products because of emotion first, and then they justify with reasoning. So later on, you're going to see how Brian uses that emotion of not wanting to be taken advantage of and make her really buy into that, feeling like, I don't want to get taken advantage of anymore. I'm sick of it. But then justifying it with consistency is not good for growing a business. So this is almost ammunition that Brian O can use later in the call. Fantastic stuff.
So consistency, and then like helping with the marketing part of it, and then helping and the marketing too. It's like that's the other part of it. It's like a wider outreach and like a wider kind of net, because I don't really know how to reach people outside of PEI, and I know like I can help people outside of PEI, but it's just I don't know how to branch out into that.
Got it. Okay. When you said like lack of consistency, are you running into the issue where like some people would book a call and they no show? Are you running into that at all?
That happens. It's not super frequent. But that does happen. But when I say lack of consistency, it's like I would like to have like a set schedule with my students, where it's like we're going to do this once a week on their time, obviously, but like for sure once a week, not like twice this week and then like 3 times 3 weeks from now.
Got it. Okay. Understood. Okay. And then like what are some of your income goals with this? I know you said you want some consistency, you want to cast a wider net, reach more people, but like let's talk numbers. Like what do you want to make?
Would be $20 an hour. And like I don't know, and this is the thing. This was the other thing. I'm like, if you can advise me, because
let me ask you this: where do you get that number from? The $20? Is that just like an arbitrary number that you just have thought of? Like, I think that's a good number.
It's not an arbitrary number. It's what we were kind of like. When I was teaching at Holland College and study abroad, we were encouraged to do stuff on the side if we wanted to, and that was kind of like the going rate at that time. But I haven't really inflated that, even though that was a couple of years ago.
Know your worth, right? I think that's what it comes down to for you. It's just really identifying and really being able to really know like your worth and know how much you can charge and how much you should charge too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then just like overall, like, because as far as like a metric, we like to ask like monthly goals, because this is your main source of income, right? Like this tutoring business.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, like ideally, like how much do you want to be earning from this business, like monthly? Like, what would that be?
Okay, well,
sorry to interrupt the call, but if you want to see where Brian learned all of his skills from, click the first link in the bio, and that entails the entire program that Brian went through, the step-by-step process, all that good stuff. So if you want to go check that out, it is the first link in the bio.
I don't know. And this is the thing. I don't want to lowball myself, but like $2,000 a month would be like my minimum that I would like, probably. Which, like,
why is that the minimum? Is that like enough? Is that enough for you to?
That's enough for me to pay my bills and pay my school fees.
Okay. Is that around like where you're at right now, about $2,000?
I'm sucking a bit of my savings right now. Honest, like reality, if I wanted to live comfortably, it would be $2,500 probably.
Got it. Okay. Were you able to see like some of the results we're able to get our teachers? Did you watch any of those videos at all?
I've watched a couple of them. Yep.
Okay, got it. I just I don't want you to lowball too hard. Like 2.5K is definitely 100% achievable. And you know, I just want to give you like realistic expectations too. You know, we do have teachers who are pulling in like 5 to 8K per month. Do you think 2.5?
I would just fall over and die and fly to wherever you are and kiss you on the mouth.
I just don't, because I know you're. It sounds like from what you've told me, Deidre, is like you've had this business, but I don't think you're setting it up optimally. Like for example, like the the students that you're working with are inconsistent, like lack of like a reliable marketing channel. So maybe you just haven't been able to, I guess, experience or witness like the actual potential with this business. But
definitely.
it's probably because you don't have like just the right strategies in place, right? So
Yeah, and that's why I reached out to you, is because like
mhm.
I know that I need someone who has experience in these channels to like direct me.
Got it. Yeah, totally. And the thing is, like, we want to make sure, like, I know you said you're living on your savings too. Like, we want to make sure, like, you're able to build this business so you don't have to rely on your savings, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How much, like, runway do you feel like you have with the way things are at the moment?
Not a lot.
A lot. Okay. Got it.
To
And
be completely frank.
yeah. Reason why I'm asking too, Deidre, is because, like, if we are going to help you build a business like this that's pulling in like 5 to 8K per month with these marketing channels, to really like scale and grow your business to where you can like cast that wider net and get more consistent students. I just want to let you know, like, starting a business like this, it is going to require some capital. So if you were able to find something that you were 100% certain that you wanted to, pursue, that would eventually get you to the point where you can pretty much double like your income right now. Like, do you feel like you'd be in a position to where you can have like some capital reserves to grow a business like this?
I could work it out for sure.
And do you mind if I ask you a personal question on finances?
Sure.
Is that okay? And the reason why I'm asking is because the better we can understand like where you're at, the better we can actually cater a plan for you, because everything we do, it is all customized. So is it okay if I ask you just an open question about your finances? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Okay. So what do you have like right now that you can invest in growing a business like this that like wouldn't put you in a tight spot? Like, what would that be?
Well, and that's a very open-ended question, I feel. How much does it require? I'll ask you back.
Yeah. So so everything, like I said, we do is all customized, but just to give you like just a realistic expectation, if we're going to help you build a business that's pulling in 5 to 8K per month, like we're not going to start a business like that with a few $100s, right? It is going to range upwards into the thousands, of course, with the full intention to make your return on investment back. But the pace at which you grow your business is all predicated on like what resources you have, whether it be cash on hand, or maybe, some of our teachers, actually a lot of our teachers are able to leverage, other assets like credit or like taking on a loan. So, like, what do you have that you feel like you'd be able to work with right now to grow a business like this?
I could probably do like, I don't know, and like, I don't know, this might be like, I don't know if this is low or high, but like, I could probably do like off the hop, like 2,500.
Brian here does a great job of asking the prospect how much she has to invest. She doesn't answer. She says, well, tell me how much the program is first. And he says, all he reveals is that a program like this isn't going to cost $100. And a lot of our teachers usually take out loans and stuff like that to fund this. What would you have on hand? So he doubles back and re-asks the question again, which is a mark of a really good salesperson, is someone who can ask the same question multiple times over because the prospect isn't giving the answer. And this is really the qualifying question for whether Brian is going to send this call to a closer or not. And because of the answer that she gives, he's able to send that call forward, and then he's able to collect his sweet, sweet commission because this lady closed.
Okay.
And then do like another 2,500 in a bit.
And then, just in terms of time too, because another resource.
I don't have credit cards. I'm renting an apartment. I don't have a car, so it would be cash on hand for sure. But I could leverage like 2,500 to begin with, and then probably do another 2,500 in like a month or so.
Yep. Okay. Cool. And another important resource too is time, right? So do you feel like you have like some extra time that you can invest in growing a business like this too?
I have all the time that you need.
All the time. Awesome. Okay. Great. So yeah, I mean, based on what we talked about, Deidre, I'm definitely confident we can help you out. Like I said, like I think where you're at right now is you have this tutoring service, which first off, I like commend you for pursuing. Not a lot of teachers have the guts to, get out of the classroom and just do this as their own business. So first off, like congrats on on making that first step. But I think what you need is just some extra support and guidance, which we'll be able to provide to really just like optimize these systems to where you can find more students, get more consistent flow of students to work with through the marketing, but also to kind of just like kind of shift your mindset into, I know you said you have like a soft spot, which is good. Like I think your heart is in the right place. Which if you have like more of a heart-centered business, that's good. But I know you said you felt like you were feeling like you're getting taken advantage of, and that probably doesn't feel good, right? So it's one thing to be
really.
of service and it's one thing to be taken advantage of. And we want to make sure that you are in the driver's seat and you're leading the business so that you can have more of an impact, right?
And this is what I mean by Brian bringing back those emotions from earlier in the call. So he brings back the taking advantage of thing and relays the emotion, saying it's one thing to be of service, but another thing to be taken advantage of. And she's like, yes, you're right. But she literally said that earlier in the call. And he's just repeating back what she's saying, which if at this point in the call, because he's going into like the pitch and the idea of talking with the closer now, he wants to create a lot of like yes sets, like yes, you're right, yes, 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 that is how I'm feeling, that is my situation, that is what I want. And the best way to do that is to just really repeat back what she said earlier in the call here in this section. And as you can see in the background, notice all the time she's saying, yes, cool, yes, absolutely right. And that's why, again, she ended up moving forward on the call and buying. She was bought in at this point.
And I think like your potential right now, I think you could do so much more is what I'm trying to say. Like even with just like your modest goals of 2.5K, like good goal, good initial goal, but let's think bigger. So I think you'll get a lot of value with working with a team like ours. So I think what makes the most sense from here, Deja, would be to get you booked on a second call with one of our advisors. And what they'll be able to do is really just break everything down for you in much more detail and really just paint this whole picture for you and give you like a full financial forecast as well too on what to expect with a business like this. That way you can make the best informed decision for yourself too. So is that something you'd be able to do, getting booked on a second call?
Definitely.
And then basically from the call, booked her on Alex's calendar, which is one of our closers, and then sent her our homework video, and then she got that, received that. Then basically Alex got her on the call for the strategy session, and then she closed.
What was it about the like her story or her situation that made you say like, okay, like I can pass her on to a closer?
When I asked her the financial qualifier, she basically said I can do 2.5 in the beginning and then 2.5 end of the month. Typically that's a good place to be sitting for us in terms of finances. If they have a few thousand, we classify that as qualified.
Pretty and much when you started your role, how was your, I guess, skill sets? Did you suck?
I would say I was okay. Like I wasn't like amazing off the bat. It definitely took some time to ramp up for sure. I mean, there were definitely rocky moments in the beginning, like especially the first week when I wasn't making any results. Like I was getting a bunch of sets, but none of them were closing. But now I'm in a place where like I'm comfortable, I'm confident in my role, and I'm more consistent.
What do you think changed that allowed you to be in the kind of a spot where you are more comfortable and consistent and probably, making more?
Yeah, just reps, honestly, just getting my reps in every day.
What are the specific reps that someone has to do and to be successful and be in like a position like you?
For me, with my position, it comes down to dials, just getting someone on the phone, right? So once you have someone on the phone, that's when like the game starts for each rep, I guess. That's when you're getting your first if you're in the set, it's like your first rep, right? Just getting that first sentence out. And then as you go into the conversation, as you get deeper into the triage, then that's when kind of more of the skill set comes in. But initially I would say just getting someone to pick up the call, whether that be through text conversation or just like pure, just raw volume, just going ham on the phone. Yeah.
If you had to recommend a number of like how many times a newbie should be getting on the phone in a given kind of day, like what should that rep number or goal be?
I mean, the magic number is 100 plus. That's like the standard,
How does having a better bullshit reader relate to your income?
the more quality sets I have on the board, the more money I'm going to make, obviously, right? So in the beginning, yeah, my income was not as high. And then second month, once I started getting the hang of things, that's when things really picked up and I started to actually get more closes. So yeah, it just comes down to more closes. And it's kind of that feedback that you get, like, okay, that was a good set. Like that was, I just need to replicate that and find people who had that similar qualification so I can continue making more money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, watching live closing and appointment setter calls is fantastic for learning, but if you don't even know where or how to get hired as an appointment setter in the first place, all this information is useless, which is exactly why I recorded this video breaking down how you can get hired as an appointment setter or closer in 2023. So go check out that video right now.